Hello everybody, Big Beardy back again, and we're doing a little bit of story time today, yes. Before I get started, I want you guys to start sending me your stories of nightmare shippers, nightmare couriers, funny stories that happen to you on the road, bad jobs that just went completely wrong, bad days, good days. It doesn't even have to be road life related. It can be anything, and if it's funny or informational or anything, I might just tell you a story and I'll let you know what I would do in that situation. So, to start story time, we're in July. This month is going to be the month of the shipper bash. I'm sorry, shippers, and it's not all going to be bad about it, because we've all got a horror story about a shipper, and I'm sure every shipper has a horror story about a courier. So, this is for you as well, shippers. Send me your horror stories and I will tell them as well. So, just send me some stories. It'll be fun, a bit of fun, okay? But this came about because someone I speak to regularly on the Discord, he's a good lad. He was telling me about this, the day from he was having, and this certain job, the issue he had with this shipper. And I thought, that's worth telling. That's worth me telling to everyone what happened and what I would do in that situation, because it's educational and it's a bit of fun. So, let's get started with it. So, we're going to call them just the shipper and the courier. I'm not going to use names. Don't want to get anyone in the shit. So, the courier won a job. Nice, simple job. It was about 60 miles. He bid £40, and the reason he did that was he wanted to get home. The job was taking him home. And we've all done that. We all do it all the time. There's a job going near my house. It's the only job around at the moment. I'm not going to go full whack. It gets me home. It pays my petrol. Job done. So, he goes and does the job. He picks up, not a problem. He gets to the other end to deliver the job. And this is where things start getting a bit wrong. So he gets to his delivery point and they reject the load. They say, sorry, we don't want that. And apparently they'll be an arsey about it, which I never understand. You turn up as a courier, and I've had it before, you turn up and someone's being a dick to you, and it's like, mate, I'm just trying to deliver this fucking parcel. I don't care about your problems, mate. Just get off my van, and you can get dicks. So, he gets the errand, he gets rejected. Now, he does the right thing. What do you do in that situation? You phone the shipper and you say, hey, here's the situation. What are we going to do about it? Phones the shipper. And the shipper says, right, well, you need to take that back to where you collected it for me. And he goes, right, well, I got this job because I'm trying to get home, but what are you offering? And he says, 20 quid. £20 to take it back 60 miles. Now the courier says, what are you on about? 20 quid? What? How do you justify that? He goes, well, it's a return load. It's a back load. So it's 20 quid. Courier says, it's not a fucking back load. It's, it's been rejected. There's no backload about it. I'm not taking it back for 20 quid. At this point, the shipper gets arsey. The courier, I have no doubt, has some choice words as well. I'd be like, you're taking the piss, mate. They get into a bit of a slagging match. Apparently, the shipper is being a complete arsehole. Says, no, you've got to take it back, and I'm paying you 20 quid. And that's it. Courier says, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it for 20 quid. Tell you what you can do. You can get someone to come and take it off the van for me. And they can take it. You can relist on the CX. I'll even help them unload my van and put it in their van. But I'm not doing that. Shipper says, that's going to cost me more money than you taking it back. So why would I do that? This slagging match continues. Now, eventually, after this going on for 20, 30 minutes, they come to an agreement. They sort of apologise, like, all right, yeah. And the thing is, people have stressful days. Sometimes people lash out. It happens. They come to agreement. He takes it back home. Takes it back to where he collected from for a better price than 20 quid. I don't know the exact amount, but I think it was probably the same he took it there for. It's a bad situation. It's especially if you're a courier, because it's like, well, it's not, and I'll go into that in a minute. But you can see why. I'm hoping people can see why the shipper is in the wrong there. Well, the shipper's not. The shipper's trying to do his job. The shipper's trying to get the job back for as cheap as possible. But to say you have to take it back and it's going to cost you 20 quid, I'm going to pay you 20 quid and that's it, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. So what would I have done in this situation? So as soon as he said it's a return load, it's 20 quid, I would have done the same thing. It's not a goddamn return load, mate. My job, and I fulfilled my part of the contract, was to collect it from A and deliver it to B. As soon as I got to B and tried to unload it and they said they refused it, technically my job's done. All right, at this point, it's a new job. Doesn't mean it's a return load, doesn't mean it's a backload. It's a new job. So if you want me to take it back, it's going to cost you a hell of a lot more than 20 quid. First of all, you only got a cheap price on this job because I was taking me home. So if you want me to take it back 60 miles, so I've got to go all the way back there and then try and get back here, and this is what I would do, I'd put a big price on. I'd say it's 100 quid. Now you would have the shipper at that point going, are you mental? 100 quid, it's only 60 miles. And my response to that would be, if you're going to put out a stupid fucking price, I'm going to put out a stupid fucking price. You want me to take it back, it's 100 quid. Now there would be a slagging match and we would kick off with each other, but I would probably, the way I would pitch this to them was like, right mate, all right, you got 3 options. It's 100 quid for me to take it back for you. Option 2, you get someone to pick it up off me and you've got half an hour, and I would give them a deadline. I'd say after half an hour I'm charging you, holding fee. Got half an hour. But let me just say this before I continue. I wouldn't do this to someone who's being reasonable. This is someone who's being a dick. As soon as you start being a dick with me, I'm going to be a dick with you. I'd say half an hour, he's got a beer and he unloads it. Now the shipper would say, like he did to this other courier, that's going to cost me more money. That's not my problem. It's not my problem. The fact that it's got to get back is also not my problem. I've upheld my end of the deal. I took it from A to B. Now this is a different job. So I'd say A, number 1, it's 100 quid. 2, you get someone else to pick it up off me. Or 3, I will do it for £20. But I'm going to do it at my own leisure. And that will be within the next 3 working days. So now I've given them options. And as soon as I've said that, I would hang up the phone. And I would phone the courier exchange. If I'm doing the job for the courier exchange, I would say, listen, this is the situation. These are the options I've given them. I just want to let you know what's going on. In case there's, he tries to give me bad feedback or anything. I fulfilled the job. I got here. And now he's doing this. That you have to, protect your own brand. And they might say, actually, you have to go by this guideline, whatever. But find out what you can and cannot do whilst he's mulling over the suggestions you've given him. Now, they'll probably come back and go, listen, I can't do it for 100 quid. And then you start negotiating. Now, when you do start negotiating, I would make sure they come up before I go down. It's a legit tactic. People who negotiate for a living, that's what they do. You come up first. They make sure the other person puts their price up before they start bringing their price down. Because if you start bringing your price down first, I suppose it shows weakness or something, but they're going to keep on thinking they can knock it off. So I would say, if they came up, listen, I'll do it for £40. That's the price you took it for in the first place. Then you can sort of go, no, 80, that's my best offer. And then it goes up, and then you get to a reasonable price. But that's how I would approach that situation. Now, when it comes to the reason I think the shipper has taken that approach is because either one of 2 things. They're being dicks in business, and people are dicks in business 24/7. You have to be a dick when it comes to business. There's no emotion involved. I don't care if I'm going to hurt your feelings. Feelings don't come into this. I don't care if you're going to be upset that you've had to pay more. It's business. I'm trying to make as much money as possible. That's what the shipper's doing in that situation. They probably haven't priced for it to be a return load and haven't spoke to their customer, and they're thinking, shit, we're not going to make any money on this job unless we get it for 20 quid. That's not my problem. That's their problem. Soon as you start taking on other people's mistakes, you will go out of business. Don't take other people's debts on. That's their problem, not yours. You've got to stand your ground and be a dick. That's why I would say, this is the price. Get someone else here to take it off me. You've got half an hour. I'm fucking going home to watch the footy. Or I will send it back on my own leisure at 20 quid next time I'm passing by. And it will be co-loaded and it will be counted as a backload at that point. That's how you approach it. Now, any normal shipper, and this is what normally happens. Let me explain I don't want people to think this is what shippers are like. There are lots of great shippers out there. I work for 4 or 5 shippers I work for regularly, and they are fantastic, and they will sort stuff out. Usually what happens in this situation, it's happened to me once, pretty similar. I actually hadn't got to the drop-off place. I was down the road, you know, from here to, you know, I was on the industrial estate. And the shipper phoned me, and I thought I was going to get one of those phone calls where they go, "Where are you?" Even though I knew I wasn't late, I was like, but that's what you expect. As soon as the shipper calls you, it's like, "Where are you?" And the shipper went, "Oh, I've got a problem." I went, "What is it?" And they said, "It's been cancelled." So I said, "I'm literally on the industrial estate." They said, "I know, I can see. I'm looking at the app. I can see exactly where you are." You actually have leverage in this situation. You have the leverage because you've got the goods on board and it's got to go back. So you can sort of, dictate. I can't figure out what that word is. Dictate. That's what I was thinking of. The terms of the job. Most of the time I say to them, "Listen, I'll do you the same price as I did going back. £1 a mile usually I do sort of thing around there. So let's say it was 230 quid. It's 230 quid going back. Can't always do that. Sometimes, let's say it was job getting you home and you've gone cheap on the job getting you there. Now they want you to take it back. It's like, you've got to say, well, I went cheap because of this. Now it's, it's going up in price. Or you can't take it back. No, I've got this to get me here because it's my son's birthday tonight. I'm off to a party. Can't do it. My wife's going into labour. Can't do it. There's other reasons. You're going to have to get someone to take it off me. All these things can happen. You take each case as it comes. But generally, all right, I'll take it back for the same price. In this situation with this customer and this shipper, the shipper's come out and been a dick straight out of the fucking bat. So straight away, boom, I'm going to be a dick. And the thing you've got to say is, it's your problem, mate. It's not my responsibility to take this job back now. My contract has fulfilled. I got to the place, and when you get there and they refuse it, get someone to sign a piece of paper saying they refused it. Literally write it all out and get refused, signed. Look, refused. Boom. What are you going to do about it? You actually have the power in this situation. They might try and strong arm you. Don't let them. I don't know a lot of shippers are listening to this going, "Fucking hell, Big Beardy, why are you telling them this?" But it's the truth. Because if a shipper was doing his job properly, and most do, before I continue, they would have priced the job accordingly, and if it got refused, they would go back to their customer and gone, "It's got refused, we're going to have to charge it for it to come back, or what do you want us to do with it? Is there somewhere else we can take it?" And that's what they'll do. Some shippers won't. Some will try and get that quick buck off of you and make you take it back cheap and make you think you've got a problem because you've got their goods on board. I would go as far as say, "Listen, they're your free options. No, you're not going to take any of them? Right, I'm going to leave them on the street here, these goods, okay? You can get someone to come and pick them up. It's not my problem. Be a dick. Realise, don't take their problem." I always try and negotiate with shippers. I always try and get the best deal. I always try and, if there is a situation, I try and solve it. But if you're going to be a dick to me, I ain't going to solve shit for you. You solve it, and I'll do it at the right price. So, I know that the story wasn't very long, and I went into a bit of explaining what I would do. But there you go. So, if you're out there, you've got a story about a shipper that's been a complete nightmare, let me know. Shippers, if you've got stories about not customers, it's late, I've been working all day, I've been up since like 4 o'clock this morning, I'm tired, I'm sorry. But shippers, if you've got stories about couriers, and there are plenty, I know some nightmare couriers. I've been on jobs where we've sort of like done they needed 2 vans in, and the other courier has gone off and, it's just a dick. And I'm like, what? How the fuck is he getting work? There's plenty. So let me know about them. Also, if you've got any funny stories, let me know about them. Like I said, July, we're going to shipper bash a little bit. But in August, shippers, you get to courier bash a little bit. So send me your stories. Like I said, either on YouTube, Instagram, Discord. Discord's a great place. Come and speak to some people. Links all down below. I've been the Big Beardy One. You've been awesome. Be safe out there. And have a great day.